Mom, I'm bored. Translation, I have no idea what to do with myself, and I'm about to unravel everyone's nervous system, including yours. If summer break has turned your house into a snack graveyard, a screen battle zone, and a daily loop of, what are we doing today? This one is for you. Some moms plan Pinterest perfect summers. You, me, we are just trying to make it through July without someone crying during the Angelus and your toddler eating string cheese straight out of the bag again. But what if summer didn't have to feel chaotic and like an endless to-do list? Welcome to the Catholic Couch, the official podcast of the Catholic Counseling Institute, where we integrate the beauty of the Catholic faith with the wisdom of modern psychology to give you real tools for real life. I'm Amber Pilkington, Catholic therapist, wife, mother, and woman who is living the summer trenches with ya. Your family needs structure. Yes, even in the summer. Not rigid, soul-crushing, color-coded, by-the-minute perfection, but rhythm, pattern, mental scaffolding that helps brains feel safe, focused, and calm. And guess what? Science totally backs you up on this. Kids and adults do better with consistent, predictable, daily rhythms. So, if you want to know how to do this, stick around. Let's start where I always love to start, with brain science. The human brain is a prediction organ. It's constantly scanning for what's coming next. When the day has structure, the brain calms down. You don't need to go into fight or flight. When the day is chaotic or unpredictable, the brain starts to panic. It burns more energy, raises cortisol, and puts resources away from learning, empathy, and self-regulation. In one large review, researchers found that routines protect children from toxic stress, reduce behavioral problems, and support better emotion regulation. Another study showed that predictable household rhythms in early childhood were associated with better executive function and fewer ADHD symptoms by school age. In other words, bedtime is not just about sleep. Morning checklist, not just about the socks. Routines are regulation. And for moms, predictable rhythms reduce cognitive load. You make fewer decisions, waste less time, and conserve emotional energy, something I'm sure all of us could use a little extra of. This is especially important for Catholic moms navigating life with ADHD, neurodivergence, or ADHD and neurodivergence in the home, and those with chronic illness. Why does this matter for Catholic families? Let's zoom out, because this isn't just about behavior or productivity. It's also about formation. Catholic life has always been seasonal and rhythmic. We have liturgy of the hours, the church calendar, the rhythms of feast and fast. God himself created time with order and balance. 6 days of work and 1 of rest. Even Jesus followed daily rhythms. Prayer in the morning, meals with friends, rest in the storm. So when you create structure in your home, you're not just parenting well, you're forming that domestic church. It doesn't have to be quiet, but it does have to be intentional. Structure isn't the enemy of freedom. It's the container that lets freedom flourish. And in a world that's increasingly chaotic, digital, and disconnected, a family rhythm built on love, play, rest, and prayer, in many ways, is radical spiritual warfare. Order is the first need of the soul. Russell Kirk, and every mom who's ever tried to find Shrewsbury formats. Rhythm that respects the brain and the soul. Okay, so here's where we bring in structure that actually helps, but without turning into a drill sergeant or building a summer spreadsheet that basically makes everybody cry. Years ago, psychiatrist Dr. Dan Siegel and brain researcher David Rock created something called the Healthy Mind Platter. These men are geniuses, and I absolutely love their work. I'm going to make sure that I include links to all of their resources in the description and in the handout. Give credit where credit is due. This began with the work of these brilliant men. So thank you, Dr. Dan and David Rock. I'm adapting it for Catholic moms and kids during the summer. This is a science-backed guide with the 7 daily mental activities every brain needs for optimum health. It's kind of like the food pyramid, but actually based on good science, but for your brain. Now, I didn't invent the model. I'm not trying to pass it off like I did. This is me adapting something brilliant, but fitting it into a very specific part of life for Catholic mom and kids during the summer. because their original version was for everyone. And let's be real, our days involve things like scrubbing marker off of holy cards or dragging toddlers through mass and answering deeply theological questions while trying to unload the groceries. So I created this lighthearted, grace-filled version of a Healthy Mind Platter for Catholic moms and kids, especially during the summer, called Emergency Help for Moms in Need. Let me give you the short version of what a Catholic mom's summer version might look like. The 7 daily mental meals, brain and soul style. Focus time. When we set our mind on a task or goal, spiritually, we go to Colossians 17. Whatever you do, do for the glory of God. Examples might involve copying a saint quote, making a grocery list, writing prayer in cursive. Playtime, when we explore, pretend, build, and laugh. We go to Galatians 5:22. Joy is a fruit spirit. Yes, even joy that involves glitter. Examples may be saint dress up, holy card charades, or a backyard rosary. Connecting time, when we bond with people or nature. We go back to Genesis 2:28. It's not good for man to be alone. Examples include rosary walks with a friend or picking flowers and putting them in a special vase at the family table. Physical time, when we move our bodies and let off steam. Corinthians 19 says, the body's a temple, but sometimes it needs a dance party. Examples may include freeze dance or an obstacle course. Time in, when we notice our thoughts, feelings, and we're quiet enough to hear the voice of God. Psalm 46:10 says, be still and know that I'm God. Examples include prayer, doing a feelings journal, a candlelit reflection with psalms and music. And then there's downtime, when we do nothing. Let the brain wander and rest. Downtime isn't lazy, it's a pause. Examples include cloud watching, swinging in silence, snuggling in a blanket with nothing to do. And then, of course, the ever-important sleep time, when our brains integrate, heal, and reset. Think Psalm 4:8, I will lie down and sleep in peace. Examples include peaceful bedtime prayers, spiritual story in bed, or blessing the kids at night right before bed with holy water. And no, you do not have to hit every 7 every day. It's more like a mental and spiritual menu, a rhythm you can loosely follow when the kids are climbing the walls and you're wondering whether 10 a.m. is too early to put your pajamas back on. Structure doesn't have to be rigid. It can be grace-filled, flexible, laughed over, and adjusted daily. And yet, it can still hold your family together. How to actually use this without losing your mind? We'll talk about realistic scheduling strategies, mom hacks backed by research, and why 80% is good enough when you're living the theology of the body, and a little bit of toy explosion. Here we go with practical life applications, AKA structures for imperfect homes. So how do you take this lovely platter of brain and soul nourishment and actually use it? While people are yelling, Mom, from the bathroom, while you're out of peanut butter and one kid insists they didn't need to wear shoes because it's summer. Here's a trick. Don't try to schedule every hour. Schedule the structure. Kids and grown-ups do better with predictable anchors, not rigid agendas. A 2020 meta-analysis on daily routines and mental health, researchers found that families with consistent morning and evening routines reported lower parental stress, better sleep, improved child cooperation, and stronger emotion regulation. Instead of saying, we'll do focus time from 9:05 to 9:36, playtime at 10:30, and physical time until, we say, here's our rhythm. Morning, productive, midday, play and move, evening, calm and connect. This is that Catholic rhythm of work and pray meets goldfish crackers. Here's a simple framework that you can totally customize. Morning, brain on, hearts open. Morning offering, even if it's just a sign of the cross and good morning, Jesus. Focus time, something productive or skill building like chores, journaling, or saint stories. Connecting time, breakfast together with no screens and one-on-one conversations. Midday, energy out, joy in. Physical time, backyard games, park time, or a cleaning dance party. Playtime, crafts, fort building, skits, pretend play. Time in, a quiet reset before screens or after lunch. Drawing, prayer, or journaling. An evening, wind down and anchor. Downtime, reading, cuddle, rest, stare at the ceiling together. Connecting time, inner conversation, family walks, sibling board games. Sleep time, prayer, calm music, an examination of conscience? If all of this sounds too idealistic, cut it in half. Make it simple. Your rhythm could be mornings, do something, afternoons, don't go feral, evenings, remember God. That counts too. When it all falls apart, because some days it will all fall apart. You forget the plan, they'll melt down. You'll find yourself hiding in the pantry with a spoon and possibly a jar of Nutella. Here's what I want you to remember. You're allowed to reset. Your home isn't a failure if it's loud. It's a holy place, not a silent monastery. Unless you've figured that out, in which case, please call me immediately. Your home is the domestic church. It's loud, it breathes, it's alive like a heartbeat. It's wonderful and beautiful. Structure isn't about control. It's about safety and sanity. It's about creating a place where kids can thrive, and so can you. And to make this easier, of course, I've created you a free printable, Emergency Help for Moms in Need, a Catholic Brain and Soul checklist. There's one version for elementary kids, one for middle school, one for high school, and one for you. It lists out all of the different elements of the Healthy Day Brain Platter with 10 ideas for each, just to get your brain going. Remember, structure isn't something to feel guilty about. It's a gift, it's a form of love, and it's deeply Catholic. Peace is the tranquility of order, St. Augustine. When your home has a rhythm, your nervous system can breathe, and so can your children's. And when you can breathe, you're much more likely to find those moments of grace and joy that perhaps your brain and body and nervous system have been too loud to hear. Hey, thanks for spending time with me today. Don't forget to get your free download. If you want more parenting tips on the summer, watch the video that's next up or check out our parenting playlist. Until next time, may your popsicles be frozen, may your meal plan be doable, and may your kids' shoes be findable. Remember, I'll always leave a place for you on the Catholic couch.